as India Inc. stands at an inflection point today. Artificial intelligence actively becoming central to productivity, to research, and competitive differentiation across industries. Now, this panel brings together scientific inquiry, academic depth, and applied innovation to examine how Indian enterprises can harness artificial intelligence not just for efficiency but for long-term industrial advantage. May I please welcome on stage Dr. Utpal Chakraborty, quantum scientist and AI researcher, and Mr. Souvik Chakraborty, Associate Professor, IIT Delhi, to share their insights on the AI boost for India Inc. Moderating this panel is my colleague, who's editor, Business Republic Digital, Arnab Kulkarni.
Thank you. Both are Dr. Chakrabortys, right?
Yes.
So I had I really asked them, how do I refer to you? So one I address as Dr. Chakraborty and second as Souvik.
Yeah.
Okay. Well, I mean, when I actually was going through the topic of discussion, quantum is something that I don't think all of us, nobody here understands what quantum exactly is. AI, the only reference to AI that we all have is ChatGPT, that's it. And some other AI tools that are available. But just to get started, I want to understand from both of you, what is the kind of work that is currently happening in India? The theme of this summit today is India's, the cracking the AI code for India. I want to understand from both of you as to what is it that is currently happening in our country when it comes to development of AI.
I can go ahead. Yeah, so actually a lot is happening, and it will take me 30 minutes to just answer this question, but I'll keep it brief.
Sure.
LLM ChatGPT is what everyone identifies AI with. But that is just the tip of the iceberg, and obviously India is doing a lot in that. But for India, at least till now, often the bottleneck was the compute.
Right.
I mean, Indian institutes, at least, that's where I come from, do not have access to the kind of GPU power that, let's say, Meta has. Mm-hmm. And naturally, therefore, what we, and when I say we, I am talking about all IITs and other research institutes in India, started focusing on domain-specific models, or rather, small language model is one of those, but in general, domain-specific models.
Okay.
And that is one area where a lot of work is going on. And when I talk domain-specific models, it need not be only language model. It can be AI models that you can use for, in general, science, for smart cities, smart infrastructure. Your car, right? Building a digital twin of your car. If you have to do that, it is, I mean, there is huge funding in that area that the Indian government is doing, but there is interest in that area as well. And apart from that, on the research side, if I go into more, there is a lot of work that is now going into the quantum plus AI, I think, which he will talk about much more than I can. But even beyond that, neuromorphic or brain-inspired AI.
Right.
That is one area where people are now working. I mean, that is now called as a third wave of AI. The brain-inspired AI, because that addresses the sustainability issue that comes with training the AI models, the compute cost or the energy cost that is there with the AI model.
Okay.
And so there is work on the developmental side, there is work on the application side, and there is work at the interface, where you need domain knowledge and AI. So at all of these fronts, there is tremendous amount of work that is happening in India.
Wonderful. Dr. Chakraborty, what about quantum?
So quantum, right now, it's in a nascent state, okay? When we talk about like the business applications, as a technology, it is definitely maturing. So we have got working quantum computers today. So Google has quantum computer, IBM has, Honeywell has, and there are numerous companies who has got working quantum computers. But these computers are till now at a research level. So you can solve some of the mathematical problems, but it cannot solve business problems. The reason being, when you increase the number of qubits, so here we call it qubits, like in classical computer we call it bits, here it is qubits, to solve any business problem. So somehow these qubits, because these are very fragile particles, it cannot hold that information for a long time. And because of that, I mean, for business applications, the quantum computers are not yet ready. But having said that, we are progressing in a very fast phase. And I think in coming 3 to 5 years, we'll see quantum computers which will solve some business problems. Now, when quantum computer comes, AI is going to get a big boost on that, because quantum computers are going to be millions of times faster than the classical computers, even the supercomputers, right? And this speed, it's going to give AI a different kind of energy, not only in terms of like processing things faster, but also there will be a lot of emergent properties that probably tomorrow we'll be seeing, because I think the previous panel was discussing about the reasoning ability. So reasoning ability of a model has come as an emergent property, right? So similarly, there will be a lot of emergent properties that we can expect that when we see quantum computers will come, AI will, I mean, these two fields are actually converging, and we can see a lot of things happening there, right?
You know, we are living in times where a lot of global turmoil is being witnessed, especially around tariffs. In fact, US President just announced that there would be a 25% tariff on NVIDIA chips. How do you view India's or the rest of the world's dependence, in fact, on just one company's chips for AI development, both of you?
Yeah, so compute is something very essential for AI, right? And today, as you rightly said, like NVIDIA is the one company wherein the entire world is dependent on, because they not only have the GPU chips, they also have the software to run that, something called CUDA. Okay, CUDA is very, very essential to run GPUs, right? And many other companies, the competitors, they don't have the entire ecosystem for training and inferencing AI. And now, as a country, I think in our AI revolution, this infrastructure revolution or the compute revolution is also very, very important. So, and that's the reason I think Government of India has a huge focus on building our semiconductor industry, and that is part of that. And quantum, how it is going to solve that is like, once the quantum computer comes, the quantum processes scientifically, okay, I'm going a little bit technical, are actually reversible processes. That means it consumes very less energy. So today, if you see, like for training any big models, large language models or small language models, we use a lot of energy, electricity, right? And the same goes for like when you fire a query, you ask a question to ChatGPT. And there are huge data centers. With quantum computers, you will see the data centers will come down to the size of your refrigerator or your washing machine. Okay, so that is going to be the power of quantum. With a very small quantum computer, you will be able to solve much, much bigger problems.
So you mean to say that quantum is going to be India's answer probably to counter the dominance of the NVIDIAs of the world right now?
Yes, it should be. It should be, because many of the companies are actively working on that.
Okay.
And I hope it should be. Yeah.
Souvik, not many people, I mean, in fact, most of the quantum scientists or engineers we see, their aspiration is to go abroad and work in the US. Not many like you who, decide to stay here and do the work here. What do you think has kept India from catching that AI bus? What stopped us from, hopping onto that bus? Why did we miss it in the first place?
Okay, so there are two parts, right? One is to retain the AI talent. I think that is one part that many, like IIT, right? Many of the undergrads, after graduating, their aspiration is to go to US or to the Western world. And so brain drain or whatever you call it, right? That is one part of the answer. And why they do it? I think money or finance is one of the points, but I think also it is the quality of living. When I talk with them, like Delhi, we're in Delhi, pollution, for example, and they don't want to come back. I mean, they will rather stay there and not come back, right? And that is what I see, and at least when I interact with the undergrads who went outside and did not come back, that is one of the reasons. Right. There is another reason to that, and that reason is that, even after that many of the brilliant minds are going outside, we do have a lot of talent in India. It's not that we do not have talent here. But somehow we missed the hardware part, which is the GPU part that you talked about. Mm-hmm. And once you miss the GPU part, then the other parts follow. And that is what happened, actually. People in India were working on AI even before LLM came. And if you look into it, LLM came not from academia. It came from industry. Right. And we lacked at that point of time, that kind of industry in India with that kind of risk-taking aptitude. I think it is changing now. With the India AI mission, for example, everyone was highlighting, and the funding coming to AI, mm-hmm. It is changing now. Mm-hmm. Even in quantum, there has been, a very big funding that happened last year, I think, if I'm not wrong, or last year. So it is changing, but I think one of the major reasons that we lagged behind was absence of industry and startups like OpenAI and let's say even Google, Facebook, right? There is no Google or Facebook in India.
Facebook in India.
Yeah, okay. So, and that is where. So, academically or academia-wise, it was almost equivalent. Okay. But industry and academia-industry partnership, or even the tripartite, government, industry, academia partnership, that is where I think we kind of lag behind, okay. Which we are catching up now, I believe.
Union Minister Piyush Goyal had in fact said that he had defined startups in a different way, and he said that what we require actually is deep tech and semiconductors. That's actually the area where we require more startups. Do you think India has the availability of resources purely in terms of mineral, for example, silicon, to actually, probably erase what happened and just hop onto that bus and take it forward and in fact become a leader in the AI tech space?
Yes, I think absolutely. Because now we have gone to the nano level. It is beyond the semiconductor, okay, to certain extent. But to build semiconductor, the materials required, or the machinery is required, or even the resources required, human resources required, the expert is required. All the ingredients are already there in India. In fact, these talents are going outside, right, as you rightly said. Now, what we need an ecosystem, the entire ecosystem, wherein we have got silicon industry, we have got AI industry, we have got academia, government, plus industry collaborating together, and which already happened in some of the countries like US and all, right, and even in China. And I think that's where we are heading towards. Okay, the ecosystem is already getting built. At different parts of India, as you can see, like silicon, the parks are coming up, right? And AI is already there. There are many startups who are working on AI. Quantum, we have got less number of startups, but very promising startups. And our academia, like IITs and all, they have done a brilliant research on many of the AI quantum things, including quantum machine learning, which is like the convergence of quantum and AI.
Right. Yeah. So, do you see any Indian company taking over the already dominant players in the industry over the next about 5-6 years?
On the chip side, NVIDIA?
Yes, in hardware as well as...
Hardware, to be very honest, the way NVIDIA has built its empire, it seems very unlikely that, at least in the GPU side, anyone will be able to compete with them in the near future. Okay. But never say no. You never know what is happening. But that is why India should not try to copy the US and go for GPU, but maybe quantum. India is investing. Right. Maybe neuromorphic, which is the brain-inspired I was mentioning earlier. neurometric hardware. That is one area where India is working well. And so maybe India should leapfrog and look for what is next rather than what is now.
Okay. That brings us to the future of AI in terms of its applications. Where do you think is the applicability of these systems is going? What will future AI systems look like? Right now, we were just discussing that reasoning, the ability to reason is one of the most recent developments. What are the next changes that we are going to witness as we move forward in AI systems?
Yeah, so I think AI agents are now everywhere, right? And the AI agents are successful to a great extent because these models behind these AI agents has the reasoning ability. Without reasoning ability, you cannot build an AI agent. Okay, and that's why you have seen like after 2023, the models are getting more and more reasoning ability. Now, only the reasoning ability is limited to some large language models, very, very large language models, which are trained with couple of trillion parameters. Okay, so trillion is the benchmark. Now, I think the researcher, what India should try is how to build models, which are small language models, very, very sector specific, task specific, not even sector, task specific models, but even has that reasoning ability. Okay, and if we can bring that kind of reasoning ability even in a small model, then those models will be the brain behind those agents.
Okay.
And as quantum is converging, so probably tomorrow there will be some other emergent properties that probably we are not thinking of at this point of time. So probably it may have some kind of a synthetic emotion.
Okay.
Okay. Some kind of a synthetic persona it can take, and it will have empathy and all other things. Okay, may not be real, but synthetic. But this will be an emergent property of those models. Okay. So that's where the researchers are working on, and I think, yeah.
So what's
Maybe
your
I'll
take
add
on?
something.
Yeah, please. Could you?
Thank you. So when I look at it, right, look at computers. When the computers were originally built, the small, even the most powerful computer was of the size of a room. And it was having compute power less than what we have in our mobile. From there to mobile, that is the journey of computers that has happened.
Right.
Think about AI now. The big AI models are now sitting on the servers, which are burning thousands of GPUs, 1,000 megawatts of power just to get trained. And even for inference, it is consuming significant energy. And probably that is why Trump was saying that why should OpenAI provide service to India at the cost of US electricity.
Right.
Right? So, and this happened, I think, I read it yesterday, right? So now, the next thing that is going to happen, obviously, is that AI is going to, these are going to become smaller and smaller.
Okay.
When I say smaller, not only the models, but also the devices, the data centers will not be that big. They have to be smaller. At the end of the day, AI started with the idea of as the brain of robot.
Okay.
If it has to be the brain of robot, if the model is to be trained on your mobile, it has to be energy efficient. So that is one aspect on the AI side that is going to happen. On the applied side of thing, well, I see a future, at least, where AI will influence everything. Okay, by training, I am a civil engineer. So let's say bridges, buildings, smart bridges, smart building, self-aware bridges, bridges that can detect, self-repair, detect means monitor, and yeah, all of that things, right? That's the real smart infrastructure.
Okay.
For that to happen, AI is the main player here. Similarly, think of, so basically this is how I see. AI will be used for design, manufacturing, monitoring, and decision making. Not only in enterprises, but also in the physical world where things are governed by the laws of physics. So AI will be having knowledge of physics. That's what we call physics-informed AI nowadays.
Okay.
And this physics-informed AI will be solving real problems from designing a spacecraft, a rocket, to designing an aircraft, car, building, bridges. And this is going to happen probably within the next 3 to 4 years.
Okay. Do you see human interference or human involvement in all of these activities reducing? Will it ever replace human being?
I don't think so. I think, and this is, I relate it with chess. So if you think about chess, chess was the holy grail for AI.
Okay.
And in 1996, when Kasparov was beaten, we thought that, okay, AI has arrived.
Okay.
But if you look at today, the best chess player is not AI, it's human plus AI.
Okay.
But as was pointed out even in the last talk, it has to be a proper collaboration rather than competition.
Okay.
So human plus AI is the future. So it will be AI enhancing human making AI better, human in the loop,
Okay.
RL and all of those things. So I don't think AI is going to replace human. It is going to be a team. But yes, for being a team, the humans should have understanding of AI.
Okay.
At least some broad understanding of how AI works.
Okay. Dr. Chakraborty,
So-
do you? Yeah. Sorry.
Yeah. So probably one big fear that I'm seeing is, apart from this job, the job replacements, is essentially, will AI be completely autonomous? And the answer is no, absolutely no. With the technology in hand today, AI cannot be autonomous. Okay, so probably one AI will give some instruction to another AI, and that will give instruction to another AI. But ultimately, there will be a human being who is behind that AI, right?
Okay.
It cannot be completely there because the reason being, we as a human has this complete autonomy because of something called consciousness, okay? And which is the intrinsic property of the universe, which has been given by the universe to us. And this cannot be bestowed to somebody else. That means we cannot give this consciousness to a machine.
True.
Okay? So I think that fear is completely out of the question, that AI is going to be completely autonomous one day. Now, replacement in job, there will be, because we have seen in industrial revolution 1, 2, 3, okay, when we have got the steam engine, then electrical engine, there were short-term replacements of jobs. Okay, definitely, and it is happening today, let's be honest, right? But in long term, actually, it creates more and more jobs, and the job roles gets elevated.
Right.
Okay, so what job roles we are doing today, tomorrow probably it will be more intellectually challenging jobs rather than the mundane jobs. Right. So I think this time also, I think the same thing will happen as we have seen in the other industrial revolution. This is a time-proven thing, right?
In fact, quite like the argument of it being a threat to job market, there is also an argument around AI about sovereignty. In the sense, the data that probably we are giving out as a country to someone like NVIDIA could be a security threat, a national security threat, is the kind of an argument that also has been going around in forums. Is this a challenge, and how will India be able to deal with this going forward?
Yeah, so this is a big challenge, in fact, for our critical services. For critical services, we cannot depend on a foreign model, wherein we don't know the architecture of the model, we don't know what kind of a data has gone into the training process, whether it is auditable, whether it follows our compliance and governance framework. So that's where the sovereign model initiative of India, governed by India AI initiative, is very, very important. So may it be small models, domain-specific models, but we should have sovereign models for India. Definitely, that's the answer. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, I think it's a challenge.
Okay.
But I think in some way we are also benefiting from it. NVIDIA is dependent on the data provided by India to them, so they will probably not stop supplying, but they will fight.
But like your 3-year argument that
Right.
there will be, within 3 years, you're saying bridges that will identify and probably repair themselves in the next about 3 to 4 years, these things will start coming to reality. Do you see that India will have its own AI systems? Can you put a timeline to it?
India already is having its own AI system, but at a smaller scale. There is, I think, for example, if I can talk about my group, right? We built the first foundation model for physical system from our group in 2023. But the problem is that it is at an academic level. And for example, I am not interested in making a startup, so I will not go there. But someone with the right aptitude, maybe the student who was working on it, if he wants, that can be a startup, right? So India is already having it, but in silos. And sometime in academic institutes, that's a silo. And sometimes the startups are, I think, have started doing it to a certain degree. And India has or is building its own model. For example, recently there is a call from India AI, from ANRF, which talks about building AI for science and science of AI, and it talks about building your own foundation model as part of that call or project to the academia, and you can partner with industry.
Okay.
So India is investing in it, and it is very soon. Maybe it will be, I don't know. Someone is probably working on it and it will be released tomorrow, who knows?
Are you working on it, Dr. Chakraborty?
Yeah, so he's absolutely correct. So already there are models, but those are not getting into media and all other things because India is looking for a large language model like GPT, right? But there are alternatives. So I think every time we don't require an encyclopedic general purpose model, right? So yeah, our initiative is Gahana initiative. So we launched a beta version of this model, which is for cybersecurity. Again, I told you, like, for critical services, we need our own models. So this is for cybersecurity, and we have launched it in IIT Bombay. So this is a small model, beta model, and we are expecting that we'll be able to bring it to the public very soon. Yeah.
Wonderful. Gentlemen, thank you very much. It's a complex subject, but thankfully we know that we have people who are choosing not to go abroad in search of this thing, but in fact working in India for the betterment of this country. Thank you very much for being here with us. Thank you.
Thank you.